21,510. I'm speaking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I'm speaking about the total number of people who have died in Palestine. You might think that I'm speaking about the current 2023-24 Gaza-Israel war. No, I'm not speaking about the current conflict. I'm speaking about the total number of deaths of Palestinians from the year 2008 till 2021. A total number of 21,510 Palestinians have died in Palestine, not because of natural calamity, not because they fell from the roof, not because they consumed the wrong food or poisonous food, not because of suicide, but either because of bullets which came through the chest, or because they were thrown or made into pieces because of bombs thrown by the Israeli armed forces in their land. So what does it mean? From 2008 till 2021, every year 1,500 Palestinians died in the conflict. So why did we, the people in the world, did not realize this figure, this number of 1,500? Why are we just aware that 1,300 Israelis died tragically in an atrocious attack by Hamas? And why is it that only this number of 1,300 in 2023 is the only figure which comes to our mind? What about the 1,500 people who died every year on an average in the conflicts from 2008 to 2021? It's not because of any propaganda, it's because of the slow rate of atrocities by Israel on Palestinians. Even we cannot complain, or we cannot say it's because of media hypocrisy. No, it's not, because how they have planned it is accurately. They've planned it very clearly that the world will not realize that this much number of people have died, because they were killing them slowly. They were killing them slowly. And that is when this attack occurred. And there is no justification for this kind of an attack, and it is very clear that October 7th attack is a violation of the international law. But the international law clearly gives the right of reciprocation upon military to military, not on innocent civilians. Even though Hamas atrocities have been committed against innocent Israeli civilians, and it is deplorable and condemnable, and it's an act of terror. Even though what Hamas did is an act of terror, what Israelis have been doing, the Israeli armed forces have been doing continuously from 2008 to 2021, and prior from 2008 till 1946, is also terrorist act. We cannot have any double standard on this one. We cannot forget that 1,400 or 1,500 people of Palestine, who were civilians, who were children, who were women, were also killed, just like how 1,300 Israelis were killed by Hamas in an atrocious act. Both should be recognized as an atrocious and condemnable terrorist act. Now let me come to the reality of what has happened in Palestine. Till 1920, Palestine was ruled by Ottoman Empire for 1,400 years, and the people in Palestine used to be Muslims, it used to be Christians, and it used to be Jews who lived peacefully there without any conflict, without any issues whatsoever. Then, in 1921, British actually took over because of the cooperation of the Arabs who lived there. British Empire overthrew the Ottoman Empire, and the Ottoman Empire was out, and British came. And British then reached an agreement with the Zionists because of its mass crowding of Jews happened, or Zionists happened inside Israel. And from 2020 to 1946, 357,000 Jewish people from Europe, from Europe migrated to Palestine. That's when an agreement was reached, and Palestine was decided to be divided equally between Israel and Palestine, and the state of Israel was formed. But in 1948, a war happened. So did in 1967. In each war, 750,000 and 300,000 Palestinians were pushed away from their rightful homes. And that's how Oslo Accords actually happened in 1992. And as per Oslo Accords, what has happened in Oslo Accords? It was agreed that Israel agreed the state of Palestine authority, not a state, but Palestinian authority was recognized by Israel. Before 1992, the total number of settlers in West Bank was 250,000. But actually, Isaac Rabin's Oslo Accords helped the Israelis to move in their settlements into West Bank. And from 1992 till today, 750,000 settlers moved in to West Bank and Jerusalem. Right now, Israel have Jerusalem as their capital, but actually they occupy the East Jerusalem and they have Jerusalem from 1948. But East Jerusalem is actually occupied territory, and as per international law, and in East Jerusalem also, the number of settlers have tripled after the Oslo Accords. Palestine was divided into three zones A and B and C, and Palestinians had to move in checkposts in their own country, in their own territory, as per international law. And Israel made bridges, Israel made checkposts separately for the Palestinians, and the Palestinians had to go through for work or for collecting whatever is necessary. Suppose like this is my country, but to go outside, I have to take all the route from outside. This is what happened in Palestine. It is just like what has happened in South Africa, just similar and even more aggressively than the apartheid of South Africa. And that is the reason why the Palestinians are revolting. So basically, from 1946, Palestinians they moved. Some of them moved from their homes in Israel towards Gaza, which is the Mediterranean Sea, and towards the Mediterranean Sea because they couldn't actually swim through the Mediterranean Sea, and because of international pressure, it was allowed that these people live there. And West Bank, and now settlements have risen in every corner of West Bank, every area of the recognized Palestine area as per international law. So, what is the solution for this conflict? Right now, the issue is between Gaza and it is between Israel. And right now, after a long time, Israel is actually fighting real gunmen, people who are armed. Nobody can predict what is going to happen, but till now, three aims for war was there for Israel. One is to defeat and eliminate Hamas completely from the face of the earth, which is not established or which is not even slightly established because the last week also they were negotiating through Qatar and Egypt and USA with Hamas. So basically, the aim of decimating or finishing Hamas is not even near to success. The second aim is to recover the hostages, for which also they are using the military means, which also is not even 1% accomplished because they couldn't retrieve even one of their hostages through the military means. They have succeeded, however, to take back some hostages from Palestine, from Gaza, through means of diplomatic channels, which was helped by Qatar and Americans. The third and the most important aim for them is to ensure that the Gaza doesn't pose a threat to Israel whatsoever, ever in the future. So these three aims currently are not even reachable at the moment, but nobody can predict the future. But till this moment, it has not been successful. However, what can be done is a very easy solution is there. The easy solution is to remove the blockade of Gaza, is to remove and give autonomous power to Gaza, and is to give independence to Palestinians, remove the blockades, remove the checkposts, and allow them to live freely, like how people live in the entire world. Nowhere in the world there is a checkpost for their own people. Nowhere there is a segregation of people. Nowhere in the world there is a separate track, like in South Africa, like what happened in apartheid state of South Africa, like how it was established for black and white slaves in the other regions in the ancient world. But now it is happening in Palestine. So, what has to be done? The solution can end amicably and peacefully only through diplomacy. And the solution is that human rights are not violated, neither by Hamas or neither by Israel. And human rights should be equal. So, it should be equal. Equality should be established between Palestinians and Israelis. And this is how this conflict can be solved.